Hey everybody, it's Susan with Susan's Tarot, or I go by Divine Twin Flame Oracle. So here we go. I've pre-shuffled already so that we can jump into the heart of it together. And I've given some bonus cards here as well, and we'll read those first. So the first bonus card is sort of like the way that we're going to focus our energies in terms of our spiritual nature. So we've got Osho Zen cards. It says, master your thoughts. The mind goes on and on. It starts working in childhood and goes on working till you die. 70 years, 80 years, continuously working, so much work, and then you cannot expect anything great out of it because it is utterly tired. It has not much energy left, and it is leaking from everywhere. If you can turn it off, that's what meditation is all about, turning the mind off. The art of switching the mind off. If you can switch it off, it will gather energy. If for a few hours every day you are without the mind, you will gather so much energy that the energy will keep you young, fresh, creative, and that energy will allow you to see reality, the beauty of the existence, the joy of life, and the celebration. So I was receiving a message from my guides actually today about this very thing, and that was that if you were to look at our body as being our bones, like our structure is our bones, it's all of it. Of course, the hormones, the lymph, the tissues, the muscles, all of it, the brain. But if you were to look at the main grounding structure, the root, the earth, is the bones, then you want to make sure your spine and all of your, ribs, your neck, your head, everything is sort of like grounding to the earth, and that you're doing that grounding work, releasing fear and negative. For empaths or people who are empathic, they take on a lot of other people's energies, and that can be really competing for the space that we could be sharing with our significant others, our divine counterparts. So, keeping the spine tall, watching for any energies that are not enough throughout our bodies, or maybe too much, and giving the blood and the body a lot of water and good food so that you're just purifying and keeping, there's a really great book about, I think it's like the 7 tools for sensitive people. I'll have to find it and put it, in my write-up there. But being an empath, when you're like I am, when you're absorbing everybody's energy, it really gets in the way. So being able to be clear in your mind. So this section on this side is going to be for the female counterpart, and this section for the male. And I've drawn, cards so that we can have more time together versus spending time shuffling. So the female really needs to embrace right now the card of the fates. If there is doubt in terms of this situation for the female, she really needs to look more clearly at the fates, as the fates would allow. So this is from the Wisdom Oracle. I'm sure you've seen these on people's tables, and so when they're reading their cards, if it doesn't seem to resonate for you, then don't worry. Just take what you need. If it's not your favorite, doesn't apply, I'm not the messenger for you, then that's fine too. Get what you can. I'm going to read about this because I'm still, in love with these cards, just getting to know them. I've had them for a couple weeks. So take what you can, ignore the rest, or drop out. 17, the fates, fate or karma. Acceptance that there are things you cannot change, and knowing what those things are, right? Having the courage to accept the things you cannot change, right? The strength, the wisdom to know the difference. So the Serenity Prayer sums up the meaning of this card. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, the wisdom to know the difference. So, one good thing about meditation is it makes it so much easier to be clear with yourself and to know how you're feeling. And for the masculine, what he's working on currently is a never-ending story. How beautiful. Yeah, lovely cards. Never-ending story. That could be beautiful, or that could be, sometimes painful. 37, depending on if you're, you know, in the good or the bad part of the story. 37. All right, thanks for bearing with me here. I appreciate that. Look these up here. The essential meaning is self-criticism, the wounded ego, and unnecessary dramas. Yeah, so if you've been feeling any energy on the, you know, the female has been feeling the male energy, have you been feeling shaky? Have you been feeling sort of like energized in a fearful way or a doubtful way? Have you been feeling your masculine as a little bit fatigued or worried or scared? You know, I've been feeling that energy for the masculine myself. And so just that he's got some ongoing things right now, maybe is preventing movement forward because of his fears. Let's read that one more time. Self-criticism, the wounded ego, unnecessary dramas. Yeah, so hurt and loss and rejection, humiliation, self-loathing and arrogance. Like if you're hearing in your own mind, in the divine feminine's mind, I'm stupid or you're an idiot. Sometimes you're hearing the male side of what he, you know, that's why as the empath has to clear that energy out. Are these my thoughts? Is this my emotion? If not, can you please leave? Because sometimes we're experiencing the male, and that's okay because you could tap in. It's like telepathy. You can tap into what he's feeling. Here's what the couple needs to work on for themselves both as a unit. The male and female together. Time for a nap. Look at that. Beautiful. Time to rest and take a nap. Both of them need to chill. Need to rest and chill out. That's pretty self-explanatory. Just take a break sometimes. Realize you're there, that you don't need to push forward. You're doing just fine. You know, everything's as it's supposed to be. You don't need to work as hard. Calm your energy. Calm your worries and your concerns. And take a break. Take a nap. Rest, rejuvenate, and renewal. Temporary non-action. Allowing dreams to arise. Yeah. Not so mental, folks. Not so mental. What can you know from your heart? So the messages for the feminine about working her energy, you know, maybe from a past point of view even. I use these cards as a past point of view because they're so Victorian wisdom oracle. So there's so much from the past. So purity, expression of purity in oneself. If we have become damaged or jaded or difficult through our scenarios of what we've lived through or our karma or even our life lessons or our family, society, what we've learned, which is not who we really are, that's just how we've been socialized, you know, coming from a place of purity within this love, whatever that means, trying to let go of the dead weight, trying to get rid of any harsh criticisms or any untruths about who you really are as a spirit, finding that purity. And for the male, he's working on his grace to come forward, right? He's working on his female side too, and his male side of having this beauty. Look at her extreme beauty and admiring your beauty. And working on your masculine side, not to judge yourself and your beauty from this social standpoint where you may be putting yourself down. Have some grace, some faith in yourself, in your own body. Give it some grace. Open and expand your ability to experience faith and purity and grace. And then the outcome of the two, what they're working on in their past lives is, of course, oh my God, union. Union, how beautiful. The souls being together as one, being unified with your mind, body, spirit, being unified with God. That's beautiful. What a beautiful card, you guys. Amazing. So if we were to ground the energy, if you can imagine yourself as a primal energy, the feminine energy has been working with some animals, some animalistic energy. She's been working with beaver. That's kind of funny. But beaver is not only like a sexual innuendo, which we're not going to go, but it's a 4 card. Hey, they build the dams. They build the dams and they build an exit. So the female has been building dams, and unfortunately sometimes they build an exit so they can get away, so they don't get trapped. So maybe she's been thinking about building an exit for herself. Maybe that's why the male is a little bit anxious, and so she's been working on building the dam for her family, for everyone, but also she knows not to put herself into a corner so she can get out. So she's watching a way to get out or get aside from predators. Maybe not just the male, but, you know, making room for an exit plan in case that needs to go down. And maybe it's really more about predators. He is the blue heron right now, 45-9. 9 is, you know, as you would know, in clubs or in the swords in the tarot. 45 is about what kind of self-esteem you're dropping down from yourself. You know, blue herons sit there, but they also fly high above, and they're dropping down messages to really look, the masculine, to really look at your self-esteem and how are you being hard on yourself right now. Because you can't be gentle and loving if you're being hard on yourself, and then you're not going to be able to draw love to you, you know. So calling in self-esteem, not having myopathy towards yourself, not looking at yourself as a withering, dying unit, but as a growing, expanding, loving person for you and for your significant other. And then the grounding energy right now for the unit, both people, sorry, 32 ant 5 is action. Ants are communal. They build something together. You see them in a line, touching base, communicating what to do. When they build something together, they make their home and their hive and do everything as a unit. So when they come together, the ants need to be clear about what direction they're going, right? What they're building, where their food is going to be stored, and all of this. If you reflect on Disney in that movie, Bug's Life. And so the couple needs to be united as a unit at some point. Thinking things through in this way and feeling things through will help you with the grounding. Working on your self-esteem for the masculine so that it reflects in the feminine relationship, working together, and then the female having exits, ways out in case she gets hurt or there's other predators around, that she knows she can take care of herself and her family and the union. We'll do one more grounding card. So the nemesis is the lesson. The nemesis, you know, a nemesis is a enemy. And in her card of enemy, you see all the 4 directions here. She's standing in the middle of all the 4 directions, which would be the elements: fire, earth, air, and water. And so let's read these 2. Well, we're going to have 3. Bear with me here. This takes a little bit of time, so bear with me to watch this. Please stay with me. Lessons. The vibration of this card is the soul. The lesson is karma or destiny. Nemesis is the goddess of retribution, of forces that come into play when we need to be steered back to a wiser course. And she shows us that we must take responsibility for all of our negative thoughts, words, and deeds, and understand the effects these may have on others. The symbols she holds indicate her wish to cleanse the human form, her bowl, in preparation for bringing it back to love and wisdom. So staying with not the negative, but the positive, right? Not the enemy, but the love. Like getting clear, washing yourself with that bowl, you know, back to your purity and illumination for him, lighting the way, having faith in him guiding you, that he knows the way, right? So when you experience him and his energy, heal yourself with that. That'll help him heal. You don't have to do it all, but get his messages, receive his illumination, and work on those things in yourself so that you could come together as the ant in a pair. This is the throat chakra. Maybe he's getting ready to speak. There's illumination, sacrifice, and inner radiance, a sacred symbol of Juno, Lady of Light. The candle symbolizes transmutation, sacrificing the body of itself in order to let its light shine. It represents the fire element and light in the darkness. Candle flames that can be used for divination, signs and symbols can sometimes be seen that provide prophetic information, such as a letter or the appearance of a loved one. So maybe he's working on approaching and wanting to get some of his ducks in order so that he's not feeling as negative about himself and accusing himself of things and putting himself down for inaction, so that he can come forward and just accept, you know, that things take time, and that's okay. Not everyone gets together right away. We all make mistakes, but we're all learning and we're all having a life here, so we don't need to hold ourselves hostage or responsible. And initiation, or the cord. All of those chakras that hold us together. Initiation, coming together. Let's look at this together. Initiation is the vibration of your soul. It's a willpower. A cord connects us to the mother during pregnancy. Is highly symbolic of our womb. Used in magic is to bind, to define boundaries, to hold wishes, and at the initiatory rites, colored cords were also used by midwives in ancient days to weave prayers for the newborn. So, you know, looking at your lessons and the illumination of what you're learning and weaving that into your own spiritual throat chakra energy of, you know, being united together with yourself. So let's move along here. So the female's working on her addictions, the devil, money, being chained up to ideas that are no longer serving her. She's working on Capricorn, karma, Saturn energy, devil energy, maybe towards the masculine, maybe his energy or her energy that she's working through. And he's working through doubt and fear, the moon, the devil and the moon. So a lot of indecision, a lot of being like black or white, heavy thinking, you know, scary, illuminating sort of issues about fears. Both of them are working on those right now. That is hindering their love. And so they both together need to be very strong to overcome these things. But if you know, you could admit these things to yourself, that normally you get obsessed in relationships or addicted, or you let those things get in the way of clear thinking, you need your strength. If you become jealous or have negative emotions, anger, greed, you know, maybe indecision, indecisiveness, not having a plan, not going forward, use your strength to get through this, that you can hold everything up, you can hold it together, you can keep going in a way that makes you feel proud of yourself. You don't have to give in to these base, lower desires, these overwhelming sort of demons inside. Okay, good. Cruising right along. So mentally, the female is learning about reciprocity. She's got the 6 of coins. She has the 6 of wands. And she has, strength. So she's learning how to be reciprocal with her money. Give and take, save and spend, receive and give love. And then she's also looking at a victory with her passion and her love and her desires. She's looking at a victory and feeling good about herself. And she's gotten there by using her strength. So she really has mentally, she's got a lot of effort and a lot of reward and also a lot of positive feelings, or she may be even a Leo. And for the male, in terms of his current mental state, wow, this is really cool. He has love, Venus or love, feeling desire, sexual desire, physical comfort, physical passion towards her, and also the princess of emotion, learning from his emotions, to tap into his emotions, to put that more towards a loving feeling rather than feeling negative. And then he also has now the Queen of Swords. So being careful with your words, not cutting people to shreds or ribbons, but owning your intellect and your communication, coming from love, coming from emotion, being able to express these things you're feeling to your divine female. What a beautiful reading so far. How beautiful. That is fantastic. You guys are so beautiful. Good. So physically, the feminine is currently working on Wheel of Fortune, realizing her ships have come in. She's earned the fortune. She's got everything she possibly needs. And she knows when things are going wrong and upside down that she can't cling to either of them. When she's up, she's up. When she's down, she's down. She has to look at things from the middle point of view, from the middle way, and not get carried away with anything. And then she also has this ability to use her mind, the Four of Swords, to hold on too tightly to her thinking that kind of leads her to distraction and makes her feel depressed. She's trying to have some victory with that, some fortune with that, so that she can get over some of these pains. She's basically been in some pain right now, and she's kind of resting from that pain and trying to take some time. That's really about looking at your karma and your past and trying to purify all that energy from your childhood. She's trying to look at that in a more fortunate way, maybe integrate it more positively into her current life so that she can go forward in her relationships in a more positive way. But she also tends to go in cycles of doubt and fear, and she knows that. The moon, everything looks a little too scary for her at times in her physical body. So for whatever reason, she needs to see herself a little more fortunate, but see that those things come and go in cycles, and that she can rest her mind when she needs to from the negative. And maybe she's also experiencing that from her masculine. Maybe he's feeling not good enough and she's feeling that too. Vice versa. Oh, let's look at his mental. Oh, physical. Wow. You know, this is a great reading today for the masculine. He's got the Princess of Staves, really learning about his desires and owning those and coming into awareness of his physical desires for his feminine. His masculine self is really passionate towards her, really loving. Could be another fire sign. He also has sacrifice or Kuan Yin, feeling peaceful, feeling like he's ready to take this into the next level, maybe having to let go of a few things in his life that are getting in the way from having a relationship that's held him back from that, and realizing that's going to be a little bit of a sacrifice for him, but doing so peacefully, not out of anger, but realizing he does really want this relationship. And he's got the Princess of Pentacles, so being able to offer his money and his physical well-being to her, offering this, you know, realizing also that she has these desires towards him, so it's mutual, and that together they can become more of, you know, a financial force, or maybe they have some work together they want to do, a spiritual work, or if maybe in the physical world they can do something to pair up with their work. And their passion, and share that energy together. You know, whether that's they have some similar ideas, some similar hobbies, some similar goals, that they could come together and work towards being, this is the initiation as the princess, but work towards being more integrated and more together than they could be alone. I see that as their journey. And then for the last set of cards, we were doing mental, physical, and the spiritual growth of the female and the male. Okay. This is just blowing my mind. These are such beautiful cards for you guys. I don't know why, but this December is just such a celebratory time. So congratulate yourself. So she is the Queen of Wands and the Three of Cups. So right now, spiritually, she feels like having a celebration, reuniting, having some bliss and some joy, having her friends, you know, around her, maybe like becoming more friendly with you. And she's the Queen of Wands, so she's got a lot of passionate sexual desires, and she has a way to manage those. I think they might get, you know, kind of terrifying because she's got the moon there and rest, but she definitely is in tune with that feeling, the feeling of, you know, fire, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, coming together in this way as a union, you know, enjoying maybe a marriage, or she is this energy of celebratory energy spiritually, and she offers destined, fated love. Ace of Cups, she's ready to offer the grand cup of love. She's spiritually ready for a love affair and ready for a union, a divine union is where her spirit's at. Good. One more reading for the male. So this is just such a beautiful reading so far. Ah. Wow, you guys. So you guys are doing in a good place right now. You're in a good place. He's got wisdom, and he's got the Four of Wands. The desire to build union or marriage or even harmony at home, or home life or structure at home. Maybe she's moving or he's moving into a better union at home, or even with each other, thinking about those thoughts. And then he has wisdom now. He's bringing wisdom, or Saraswati into the relationship. Wisdom. Saraswati is the goddess of wisdom and the goddess of music and fine arts, creativity, beauty. So he's offering these things towards her, acknowledging these things in her, that they might make a really great couple, you know, who have a lot to offer each other and to share, and maybe even be in a living situation, because it's the 2 and the 2. So the 2 cards and the 4 cards are, you know, 44, 33, 66, 22. These are like the wands of the 2 bringing together to make 4 twin flame numbers. And then he has the Queen of Staves, so he's got the Princess and the Queen of Staves too. Coming together with her, with his fire energy, Aries, Sag, Leo, and knowing that she is the queen. He will treat her as so, the Queen of Fire, passion, love. So this is fantastic. I love this reading. Quite beautiful. I'm feeling like I'm going to read you one more card for the pair. Wow, I mean, this couldn't really get much better. For him, again, we have the Princess of Cups, the Queen of Swords, and Love, or Venus, in his mental sphere. In his physical sphere, the Princess of Staves, the Princess of Pentacles, and Kuan Yin, knowing that his woman has cups, staves, and pentacles, as well as swords. And then we've got Wisdom, the Queen of Staves, Four of Staves. So he's really loving on his feminine. He really appreciates her and sees all of that beauty in her. And then the female is looking towards the male, and she's having reciprocity, give and take, some strength, and some victory, feeling victorious. She has the Wheel of Fortune, the Moon, and the Four of Swords, or rest, recuperation, and getting away from mental energy. She also has the Queen of Wands, the Ace of Cups, and the Three of Cups. So that's where we're at. And then together, let's do one more reading. I'm going to do one more card for you from my Earth Warriors Oracle. So this is for the first week in December. And it was a divine twin reading, divine masculine and divine feminine together with a little bit of both. Good. All right, let's do this one. We've got the beautiful place, and I'll read this to you. Can you see there's a lion there and a horse? Freedom, spirituality, joy, strength, and the woman in the center. I'll read it to you. And the little baby. We've got a volcano. And a butterfly. It looks like a peace flower, a lotus. Okay, let me show you again. Let's get this ready. Amaru, the beautiful place. Your dreams of a more beautiful world are not a product of childish fantasy, nor idle imagination. They are true spiritual visions, inspired by the universal heart that yearns for divine paradise to be manifested in all worlds. You have a life purpose to assist in the creation of divine harmony in the world through sacred activism and the expression of your soul talents. Believe that the beautiful world you long for is not only possible, but part of your spiritual responsibility to create. Don't be scared to face a problem head on. You don't need to be willful about the solution, but in facing the issue, you shall simplify the complexity, recognize the practical steps that will create a healing change, and keep your mind and heart open as you ask for unconditionally loving guidance as to how you best evoke divine healing in any situation. There is an outcome available to you that is far more beautiful and divinely inspired than what you can currently envision. Ask for divine help and trust unconditionally in the assistance that will lead you away from the limitations of your current thinking and into the perfection of what the divine wishes for you in our world. So I'm getting here that's to recognize practical steps you need to create for healing change is to keep your mind and heart open and ask for unconditional loving guidance, so how you can best evoke divine healing. So you might ask your spirit, you might ask your divine counterpart and yourself what you need for healing, and then ask for that guidance for divine healing. So if that worked for you and you can apply some of those messages and use that energy to feel peaceful, a little bit of meditation. We talked about that card that we had, you're not your mind. And we started with mastering your thoughts, not letting your thoughts get away from you. So if you have any questions, leave your comments down below. I'll get that book on there for empaths and sensitive people. It has a lot of good skills for that to clean out your energy. Please like, please subscribe. I'm doing at least three, maybe more readings per week. So Thank you so much. Namaste and God bless. I wish you all the best and have a great first week of December. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.